G'day viewers, Rob from Hook 'Em Out Tackle. Welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be all about how to make your own stinger hooks for use in soft plastics. Stinger hooks are best used when you have a plastic which has an extremely long tail. Here's a 4-inch turtleback worm, and as you can see, the hook only comes up to at the very head of the bait. So what you want to do is you have another secondary hook which sits further back in the tail of the bait, which allows the fish, when it comes up and grabs it, if there's no hook there, you're going to miss that fish every day of the week. Where if you put a stinger hook in it, it will grab the back of that and you'll end up hooking up a great fish. Now this is really effective on flathead, snapper. It also was a big game changer for me on King George whiting. As we know, King George whiting love worms, so these work really well, but King George whiting tend to just come up and mouth the back of the bait. So once you get a stinger hook in the back of these baits, it will actually increase your catch rate. The first thing you're going to need is a small hook. Now, depending on what size jig head you're using and what size soft plastic you're using, if you're using large ones, then you're obviously going to need larger hooks. But in this case, I'm only using some really light, small hooks, so I've just gone with the size 6 here. But the most important thing here is definitely want to make sure that the hook is not offset and has a straight shank. As I said, they're great for soft plastics such as the turtleback worm, the 4-inch and even the 7-inch. The 7-inch is really good for the big snapper, but I like the 4-inch for the whiting. The other thing you need is a little bit of fluorocarbon leader as well. Because I'm a kayak angler, what I do is I make a number of stinger hooks at home before I go out on the water, and I use one of these little foam keepers and I'll tuck it inside one of my old packets that I've got from another product. I'll just slot it in like that and then they'll stay protected. All right, once you've got your jig head, obviously your main line's going to come back onto the jig itself, so you're actually going to tie the knot around the actual shank of the hook. So whatever knot it is that you tend to favor, then I suggest you just use that knot. So give it a twist. So that's just how I do it. Everybody does it a little bit differently. Okay, it's got enough twists in that line. Bring it back through the loop. Back through the loop at the top. Okay, pull that down. Always wet your knots. Just be careful not to hook yourself in the mouth. Hook in mouth tackle. Alright, that's it. Now you just want to trim that tag now. That's the first part of the rig done. Next step is to tie the next hook on to the leader. Now again, it's up to you what type of knot you want to use to tie on. It's more about the actual distance between the leader and the other hook. So you should always have a look at it and measure it. So here we go. We're going to look at the plastic and we're going to try and measure whereabouts we want the hook to come out of in the back end of that tail. So just roughly measure it. So just put your hook where that's going to go, and then where you think this one should go. So towards the back of the tail of it here. Okay, so I'll just hold that there. Then you want to do is slide your hook. All you want to do is slide the hook along the line to where you want that other hook to come out. Okay, so roughly that's going to sit there. Then I'm going to want that one about there, the tail. You don't want it too close to the tail because it'll lose its action. So you want to just sit it up a little bit more. So you just pull the line until you're satisfied. That's where the hook's going to sit within it. If you make it too long, then it's going to sit back here. But if you do make it a little bit longer, it's not a bad thing because you can actually wrap the line around the plastic and give you a little bit of wiggle room. If you make it too tight, so your plastic will end up like that. So you want to give it a little bit of extra slack. So I've figured out that this is the distance that I'm going to roughly put it. So I'm going to tie that on now. Just using, like I said, whatever knot you like to tie. All right, now let's go ahead and, now that we've got the knot, the rig tied up, let's go ahead and rig it all up so you can see what it looks like. Now sometimes this will slide up to there, which is fine. It doesn't really matter as long as the hook's in the right position at the end. Right, so let's just slide it through. Depending on how fine your line is, see that one just went in there with it, so that's good. You can see it's come out. brought some of the plastic with it. This plastic's a little bit old, that's why it's sort of decaying away a little bit. All right, now we've got the first one through. You want to get your second hook through. So remember, the line is a little bit longer than the tail itself. So you've got a bit of slack, which is fine. Just wrap it around there and then pin this through here, okay? Now just remember, you want the hook to come out the same way as the first hook. So we just pin at the top, hook it towards the tail itself, okay? Hook it there, run it through, feed it through, turn it around, turn it over, straighten it up so it's not crooked. Okay, you can even push the eye back through the bait, which I find effective as well, and then just adjust it so that the bait is as straight as possible. Okay, there we go. Straight and just a little bit of barb sticking out at the top. And that's a pretty straight plastic, as you can see, and that is Dynamite on whiting snapper. As I said, I make up a whole heap of these, take them with me, and what I do is I just put them in, insert them into here, one of these, click them in there, run your leader and your other hook over there, run your other hook onto the back, and put about 3 or 4 on there. You can probably fit 3 or 4 on there, and then I just, as I said to you, I'll just pop them into here like this. And I pop those in my pocket, and I have 3 or 4 of those ready to go when I'm out in the water. And if I bust off, hit a bit of reef, whatever it might be, I just pull that straight out and I just put another plastic on. If you're interested in learning how to make your own whiting rigs, then make sure you check out the rest of our videos on our YouTube channel, or click on the video above. Guys, it's pretty simple. If you want us to continue to make content like this, at a minimum, you need to be giving us a thumbs up so we understand that what we're doing is of value to our viewers. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.